Hello, internet, YouTubes, and well, probably not Twitch people actually, because that's live, and this isn't live. This is recorded. Obviously, you know me, Bong, and I'm here with Randy, who's the creative director of Gearbox.
Yeah, well, a Battleborn at Gearbox, certainly.
I didn't want to mispronounce your second name. So.
Randy Varnell.
Varnell, sorry.
Yeah, good English name, I think. Fernhill or something like that is where it comes from. But yeah, Randy Varnell from Gearbox. I'm creative director on Battleborn.
We've been playing the new modes, Meltdown and
Capture.
Yeah. Capture plays very similarly to your kind of standard battlefield domination,
Yeah,
push
it's
and pull.
the three-point capture map and all of that. You get to explore some character diversity, but yeah, it should be very familiar to shooter players.
Yeah, the synergy between... So there's only 15 characters that we can play with today, and there's 25 on launch. And the synergy between... I was playing Montana, somebody else next to me was playing Miko, and my health bar just did not drop below 100% because she was just constantly healing me, and I was running around with my minigun just tearing up the town, really.
Yeah, I mean, that classic heavy medic combo, all the way back from TF2 is a little inspired there. What's neat about that is Montana does really well, too, if you can stun an enemy. And if a Miko plays really well, Miko gets a little stun ability in there. So not only can you keep Montana alive, but you can just set up targets so that you can just mow down with that minigun. It's really cool.
Yeah, so the way that you've got the characters in Battleborn is that there's two tech trees, and you can go all out on one side or the other, or you can have a little bit of a mix. So I skilled the dash so it knocks them up in the air, and then I get an extra 2 or 3 seconds just firing on them at point blank range with the minigun. And then obviously he's got his super, which is a big slam, which does tons of damage.
Mansformation, I think, is what that's called, right?
Yeah, he goes full man mode. He mans up and he stamps on.
Yeah, skin turns metal, and he gets a lot of damage reduction and some damage. It's really cool. Yeah.
Battleborn is something we covered at Gamescom briefly, and we really enjoyed it. But that was purely PvE. Now I think this game, personally for me, is going to excel in the PvP. Competitively, the control mode felt as engaging as a game of kind of Battlefield for me.
Good.
I was involved. I wanted to win. It's very easy to see who's winning and what you've got to do to do that. I like the collecting the shards for your gear at the bottom. You've got the 3 pieces of gear.
Yep, and you can also build some turrets and some supply nodes to heal up. Kind of some territory control addition to the map. Yeah.
So you can choose. Right, well, I want. I'm going to play really defensively. I'm a defensive hero, or Battleborn. As I think
Battleborn
I'm a
character.
defensive Battleborn, and I'm going to build some defensive turrets here, and also spend my shards on defensive abilities. So I noticed I unpacked a pack, and I got something it had Miko in the name, but it was basically a regenerative aura for people around you.
Yeah, it heals all of your teammates that are nearby. It's really good. You can put it on any Battleborn, not just a healing character. But it's really great if you're kind of putting yourself into that defensive or support role. It really gives you a lot of staying power.
And if you've got a team of 5 on TeamSpeak, you jumped in with 4 friends on Steam, and you guys go, right, well, we're going to stack all of our abilities into healing each other, and we'll just run around in a big 5 death ball, and they will never be able to touch us. Or alternatively, you could stack all your abilities into super high damage, and then try and just go all out damage and go, right, well, if they come to us, they're dead. There's nothing they can do. So there's a lot of room for scope in terms of deviations of tactics, and I think that's really going to possibly come out in any tournaments that get held. Yeah, I think it's going to play a really vital part in the way that you load out and the way that you skill those characters, because they can be played very differently.
Absolutely. I mean, that's been part of the design since the beginning. When we made Borderlands, you customize your individual character, and there's a little interplay between the 4 characters of Borderlands. But Battleborn, we wanted to take that idea of customization and take it out of just the character silo. I mean, so I love what you're talking about already. You're thinking about team comp, but you're thinking about team comp with gear. You're mixing all of the parts that you use to customize your character to make something that is so much more powerful than a single player can ever be.
So at this point, I haven't yet played the other mode, which is a mode kind of there's 2 furnaces, and there's like a giant evil robot that wants you to feed it minions.
He was originally in charge of minion recycling for kind of the LLC, one of the factions in our universe, but has gone a little bit crazy there at the end of all things, and now fancies himself an angry robot volcano god. and he has remade the recyclers with the visage of his face on them, and you've got to get the little minions in there, and it appeases him by making sacrifices of the minions to his godhood.
Okay, yeah. So you've got these minions, and you're delivering them into these furnaces to gain points. So you can kill the enemy players, but that doesn't net you any points. Killing the other enemy minions will then deny them points, because if they're bringing some minions to the furnace and you kill those minions, then they can't do squat with them. So I think there's layers of strategy there. Certain heroes are going to be better at killing the minions, I guess, than and maybe enfeebling and slowing those minions, so that your team have more of a chance to actually to kill them and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. You can't wait. You talked about gear earlier. I think gear is really important. In fact, there's a really interesting choice. Gear, when you bring it into a match, isn't on by default. You have to collect those shards and power it up. In a mode like Meltdown, the shards are also spent on the buildables in the game, on turrets, on the healing nodes, and all of that.
Yeah.
It's extremely important. In Meltdown, one of the things you can build are accelerators, logistics nodes that accelerate you and the minions, so it makes it faster to the gate. And so bringing those into the match, and keeping those up for speeding up your minions and slowing down enemy minions becomes really important. But you have to make a choice. Is it gear for me, or is it speed for my team?
Yeah.
And you can even, you're talking about layers and depth, if you get really smart and have a player that's good at it, you can have a player that's even dipping down in the enemy side of things, taking all of their shards, denying them currency for the growth on that, so they can't power up their gear or their buildables.
Right, yeah, so there is tons and tons of depth. I'm really excited to see where it goes and whether the esports scene is going to kind of grab it and run with it, because I think there's a lot of potential there.
Well, good. We haven't talked a lot about esports. I mean, it's so many games come out like we're an esport. With Battleborn, it's been so important for us just to be sure that the competitive is good, that it's balanced, and it has the potential there. And hopefully, guys like you and your team, get together and no, this is a sport, we like to play it. And if you do, I promise you, we're going to be right there behind you, ready to support it with balance and features and patches and all.
So a little bit more specific on that, and maybe you can answer these questions. Private matches.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Is it dedicated servers or peer-to-peer?
All dedicated servers.
Excellent. Okay. Brilliant. I noticed there's an in-game currency that you use to buy packs to get new gear.
Yes.
Is that going to be something that's going to be available for purchase? So £10 or get me 10,000 in-game currency, or is it purely in-game?
At the moment, we want to be sure that the retail launch is all kind of a closed ecosystem. We've talked about, what people might want to buy and purchase with additional dollars. I want to be sure that the game is cool and awesome, and using the credits that you're earning through your gameplay right at the beginning. If people want that, or they want to look at some other things, they might want to. We haven't talked about any DLC or post-launch plans yet, but holy crap, I'm not out of ideas yet. We've got a lot of stuff that we could do as far as characters and modes and different ways to expand the game. And if people like the game, dig the game, and play it with us, we would love to follow that along. But at launch, the credits, you'll only get them through playing. We want to be sure that there's not a kind of a pay to win
so
aura
you
on that.
Can't just dump money into it. Just keep rolling until you get all the epic loot, and then.
You have to earn what you have and play, and there's several ways to do that in the game. But
I noticed you can sell gear that you don't want
for a fraction of the cost. But
and is there any plans to take the gear deeper, like maybe merging different pieces of gear?
You're right on track with where we're thinking about it. We're going to have a good base functioning balance system at launch. That's what our goal is. We've got tons of ideas. You've seen other loot systems and other games do. We would love to go with factional sets or set pieces. At launch, you're going to see a good game. You're actually going to see a lot more variety than even you're seeing here. The internal builds already at Gearbox do a lot of other things with gear and a lot of cool concepts that I don't want to spoil just yet. But you'll see more variety there. And one of the things that you'll see that's really cool are when we start getting into legendary gear. The legendary gear, if you played Borderlands, was a big thing. We have those. You can play the campaign missions and find them on bosses. There's some that you can unlock by playing characters very deeply and progressing. You can actually rank up your character persistently between matches. Doesn't make them inherently more powerful, but it unlocks some other aesthetics and options of gameplay, and eventually a piece of gear customized to that character. It will make them. You can use it on any character, but it will make that character specifically better.
Are you saying that there might be pieces of gear in the game that maybe, for example, could change Montana's slam to a slightly different ultimate, or Or is that too far?
Probably too far on that. Now we do have in your character rank up. So outside, you have the match growth 1 to 10 that restarts every match. Outside of the game, we have a thing called character rank. So Montana could rank up as you play more matches. You can go from rank 1 to rank 15.
Okay.
5 different ranks. You're going to unlock what we call mutations. A mutation is essentially a third skill that fits in that
on the DNA
helix tree,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That gives you another choice. That's the type of thing where you might see Montana Slam taking on a different characteristic or whatever. Not inherently more powerful, but again, for an advanced player, that character gives you even more options with your builds. And we're trying to be sure that the mutations are really jump off points for really specialized builds for advanced play.
Yeah, I noticed that we'd got the number 1s on all the characters, and I presume that was a rank, and I thought, oh, maybe we'll get different skins, something like that.
There's also some skins and aesthetic in there that you'll be able to unlock through ranking up, and taunts. The taunts where Montana does if you saw that, I think in Montana that you have right now has a taunt where he holds his gun over his head.
He kind of does like a big flex and then a pelvic thrust. Right. It's a bit...
if you saw the Rendane trailer where they talk about butt theatrics and Montana's there kind of patting his rear and doing that, that's a taunt that you can unlock by ranking up your characters.
Excellent. So. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm big on MMOs and RPGs where you can kind of spend time and get more out of a character the more you put into it. And so I'm kind of I want this on my PC at home so I can just start playing on my favorite characters and start.
I've even gotten into more unlocks and all sorts of stuff. It's deep. There's a lot of time you'll be able to spend with the character and be rewarded for that and unlock. So.
And obviously for people that aren't solely into the PvP, which I think I will be playing probably a 70-30 PvP to story.
Yeah.
I'll run through the story, and it does seem pretty cool. There seems to be some nice writing in there, bit of humour, and the bosses are like giant spider tanks and really
named Jeff.
Named Jeff, and huge things like that. So that's pretty cool as well. So and it's all cooperative, isn't it? The story, right?
Yeah.
So how many players can play through the story?
Up to 5. So you can play single player up to 5 player co-op. And any combination. I like to duo a lot with I have a couple of friends, so I can't always find. If you don't have 5 friends automatically, we do support matchmaking into those modes as well. Right. So we can find 5 new friends for you that you can hopefully all the group works out. And you can also play split screen local. So 2-player split screen if you want to do that. We knew a lot of Borderlands players who love the split screen thing, so we've maintained
you
that.
Sat on the sofa at home, you and your girlfriend, you and your boyfriend, whatever, and you want to play through the game, and you've got 3 AI that are backing you up. Yeah, cool, excellent. We're being called away by the evil community manager, Aaron. So thank you very much for your time, Randy, and I'm going to get back into the game.
All right, let's not delay you anymore.
Thanks.